When the 11th generation Honda Accord came out in 2023, people were not very excited about the redesign. It looks a lot like an old Ford Taurus. It has just a very generic looking sedan design to it. Also, the back end or the back seat has limited headroom for taller people. That's been a bigger complaint with it. The discontinuation of a 2-liter turbo has been a complaint with it. But despite the naysayers out there, and I'm a naysayer too, I'm not a big fan of the looks of the Accord. But when you drive it, it's super smooth. Guys, it's a luxury quality, especially on the top touring grade. Of course, the touring's hybrid only, but you get such a very smooth, refined experience. The engine, it's pretty much drives like an electric car, fully electric, all right, instead of a Toyota hybrid. The Honda's hybrids are smoother, they're more refined, they're quieter. Not necessarily as responsive, especially once up to speed. They're not as efficient as Toyotas, but what they lack in raw power and efficiency, they make up for in refinement, smoothness, quietness, luxury. I really, really like the Honda Accord Hybrid, but the looks have been hard to get by. And a lot of people have been asking for a refresh. But the thing is, Honda doesn't do refreshes unless it's every 3 or 4 years, traditionally. Well, check out what's going on. China's getting a refresh, and it looks pretty good. All right, guys, we're going to take a look at the new Accord in China. This is a 2026 model year, I believe. Can you believe we're up to 2026 already? We're going to soldier on in the United States. I don't know how long with this design. You got to keep in mind, Accord sales are really down because of the reworking of the Marysville auto plant for EVs. Also, the Honda Accord will be leaving the Marysville auto plant sometime this year to go to Indiana, where they make the Civic and I think the CR-V. And that could also spell the ending of the TLX from Acura as well, if you guys have been watching the channel this week. All right, but let's look at the design. The headlights look to be pretty much identical. There might be some small differences with the reflectors here on the end, but that could just be for the Chinese market. They might not need to have these amber reflectors on the edge. As we go down, this is one of the things about this is the touring model on top. And they have these silver garnishes. These garnishes look better in the normal sport hybrid. They're blacked out. They just look out of place here. It's not my cup of tea. Now look at the front end of the new Accord in China. It's the exact same car, guys. You got to keep in mind, this is the exact same car. Technology is about the same platform, similar powertrains, except they get a plug-in hybrid. I'll get more into that in a little bit. Yes, a plug-in hybrid. It's pretty crazy. But look how much more character this front grille has. This grille looks like it's taken off of the 2025 Odyssey that I'm driving right now. I guess there's some continuity in the brand with design, but the Accord and the Odyssey shouldn't look very similar. Cooler grille with better lines that flow more naturally into the headlights. And then you have this bottom portion here. Now, it might be a little over sporty. I get it, but hey, I'll take a little over sporty instead of smooth melting soap, sort of like a smooth bar of soap sort of look that we have here. Comment in the comments which of these front ends you like better, the new refresh in China or what we have in the United States. Now, just because it got refreshed in China doesn't mean we're going to see this sort of design in the United States. If you look at like the Lexus ES got a refresh in China with different headlights, different grille, and different technology on the inside too. With a 14-inch screen, we're not going to get that. So just because China's getting this, again, does not mean this is the design that will come to the United States. Yes, I hate to burst your bubble there. What other pictures do we have? Well, I have to also give credit to Car Scoops because they're the ones that have brought this news to the Western market. I think they're the biggest publication talking about it. But we have other images here. Here's the back end. It looks pretty much identical. Let me compare it against this model up top. What do we have on the back? I mean, maybe a slightly different garnish here at the very bottom, but it looks pretty much identical. The rear taillights are the same. Everything's the same. The wheel designs, even these look familiar. All right, so it's really just a front end refresh, which they need to do in America. Like a lot of people have been dogging on the Accord. It's like, well, the new Camry, some people don't like the looks of the new Camry, but they'll say it looks better than the 2023 11th generation Accord. All right, let me know if you also in the comments if you think the Camry looks better than the Accord. I do, absolutely. We have a couple more images here of previous generation Accord over here. I like those wheels. Let's keep moving. Oh yes, they called their 1.5 turbo Accord in China the 260 turbo. Their interior is also different. Let me see if I can pull up the interior of the current Accord. So looking between the two, there's a lot of similarities. We have the similar grille. The overall designs are similar, but instead, and I actually like the North American interior better here. For example, look at these 3 dials. This is the best climate control setup in the world, in my opinion. It's tried, it's true, it's simple, it's easy, great tactile feedback with the clicks on the knobs. This is great. It's great. Now, if you look down here, this is a big trend in China. All right, this is like automatic climate control button, and then you can just turn the heat to the right and coolness to the left. But it also doubles as a clock. So the tech's cooler, I guess you could say, over in China than it is in the United States. The software is different on the screen, I believe, between here in the United States or in China and the United States. The steering wheel looks to be very similar, right? And then look at this pop-up screen here. So we have a hooded traditional MID or instrument cluster behind the steering wheel. In China, they've just put a tablet in front of the traditional hooded area. So it's more technologically advanced. And I like, I kind of like it being closer to the driver. But I want to show you guys something else. Over in China, they have 2 powertrains. They actually don't get our 2-liter hybrid. Isn't that interesting? But they get, because the market over there is more heavily towards plug-in hybrids and EVs, they get this e-PHEV. In the United States, only PHEV we have is on a fuel cell CRV, like unobtainium, right? Meanwhile, in China, the Accord comes with a 2-liter plug-in hybrid. And look at the driving range here, 106 kilometers. Now, the Chinese cycle, it's different. I think it's like the WLTP or NEDC, which is, I think, is even less, has less requirement. So anyways, 106 kilometers times 0.62, 65 miles, but it's probably close to around 55 to 60 miles of true electric range. Still, we don't have anything like that in the United States. Now, the power here is not very impressive. To my understanding, it's not quite as powerful as the 204 horsepower. I think Car Scoops has the number here. Yeah, 181 horsepower and 247 pound-feet torque. So it has the exact same torque as the hybrid here in the United States with the dual motor hybrid. But it has 66 miles, or 55 miles or so here in the EPA cycle of fully electric range. I guess here in the United States, there's such a small market for plug-in hybrids, 1, but 2, plug-in hybrid sedans. Sedan market shrinking, but this would be cool. I mean, I think the Accord in the United States just needs to discontinue the 1.5 turbo CVT. It's loud. It's not as quick in some ways as the hybrid, at least from a stop. And this setup is just so much better. It's quieter, it's smoother, you get better fuel economy. Honda just needs to find a way to add all-wheel drive. And this is still a front-wheel drive plug-in hybrid. Look, the battery takes up a large portion of the rear here. So it's cool that China's getting this refresh. It's cool that China has a plug-in hybrid of the Accord. It's cool that they have their own unique interior, which I'm going to show you something real quick on the interior. Here's the interior. It has more ambient lighting. Also, this could be for the plug-in hybrid only, where they have the push button select instead of the shifter. The shifter is probably for the 1.5 turbo. And then here is that big screen, that fully digital screen behind the steering wheel, which is pretty cool. It's definitely more fancy than the one we have, this 10-inch screen. It seems like it anyways. The readouts are a little bit fancier. The market in China is far more cutthroat. It's more aggressive. You need to have the best technology possible. Here's that climate control I was talking about on that dial. Oh, digital rearview mirror, for example, and even a cabin watch sort of camera here. Let me know also. I know I'm asking you guys a lot of questions today because I'm interested in what you guys have to think about it. Would you rather have a fully battery electric Accord? Let's say it has 300 horsepower. It's going to be heavy. Think of it as a competitor to the Ioniq 6. Would you rather have a fully battery electric Accord or a plug-in hybrid Accord with 55 miles of range and around 200 horsepower? I know which one I would be taking. I think the plug-in hybrid, and you'd still be getting crazy fuel economy on the highway. And as we close out this video, yeah, I would rather have this front end on the Accord. And yes, I would love to have the option of a plug-in hybrid on it as well, because Camry's crickets on it. No one else, like Volvo discontinued the S60 plug-in hybrid. So there's just very few plug-in hybrids in the United States market. And here's Honda and Mazda has a plug-in hybrid too that's made in China, but we don't get that car at all. The EZ6 or the Mazda 6e, whatever it's called. So this though, in the United States, the Accord, I saw it being produced in Marysville, Ohio. It's just not being made with the latest technology, nor the latest front end redesign, nor with that tempting plug-in hybrid. But it is what it is. I'll see you guys in the comments, and long live the Accord. I hope by the time it goes to Indiana, maybe this year, maybe we'll get this refresh on it. But in reality, it's unreasonable for me to get my hopes up about the Accord. Despite me dogging on the Accord, it is still more luxurious than the TLX or the Integra in the Acura lineup. It's smoother, it's quieter. The ride quality is fantastic in the hybrids, especially the touring model. So it's a great car. I just like it to look a little bit better. And yeah, bring all that technology over here as well. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys. I'm sure you all have plenty of opinions in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more Honda Acura news. I'll be leaving like next week, 2 weeks, to drive the ADX from Acura, and then later in March to drive the new Honda Passport. Man, that's a sick looking crossover SUV thing. Thank you for watching. Have a great day and peace.